My name is Elena Cross. I'm 28 years old, a structural engineer, and pressure has never scared me. I thrive in chaos. Deadlines that would crush 20 people into one barely make me blink. I spend more nights on dusty construction sites than in my own bed. But my house, that was different. That was the one place that made my life feel anchored. It smelled like quiet after long days. Like independence. Like something I had built entirely on my own. Or so I thought. Because today, my house no longer belongs to me. I had just returned from a 3-week business trip, the kind where airport coffee replaces meals and sleep comes in 2-hour fragments. My spine still felt molded to airplane seats. All I wanted was a shower, my couch, and the comfort of walls that were mine. Then I turned onto my street. A bright red sold sign stood in the center of my lawn. My tires screeched. My heart stopped.
No.
Not my house. Not the place I poured every paycheck into for years. Not the one thing in my life that was truly mine. I jumped out of the car, work bag still on my shoulder, and ran. My mind clawed for an explanation. Any explanation. That didn't exist. Then I heard his voice. Mark Reynolds. My stepfather. He wasn't startled. He wasn't confused. He wasn't even surprised. He was packing. My belongings were being shoved into cardboard boxes like this was a casual Tuesday and not the demolition of my life. "Oh, hey, kiddo," he said without looking at me. "You're back earlier than I thought."
Kiddo.
He always said it like I was slow. Like I was a child he barely tolerated, not a grown woman who bought her own house. What is going on? My voice cracked through the hallway. Mark sealed a box with tape. The sound sliced through me. "We sold it," he said, sighing dramatically, as if I were the inconvenience. My stomach twisted.
We.
He finally looked at me, that smug smile I'd learned to hate plastered across his face. "Your mother and I, obviously. You don't need a house this big, Elena. It's ridiculous for someone your age. You should be renting, saving money. You'll thank me later." Thank him. For selling my home. "Mark," I said, shaking, "this is my house. I paid for it. You had no right." He laughed. Actually laughed. "You think you did this alone?" He clapped my shoulder like I was a toddler. "It's all family money. Shared assets. You don't really own anything." The words hit harder than a slap. Shared assets. Family money. Anything to erase what I built. "Where's my mom?" I asked. He shrugged. "Italy. Needed a break." "Italy. So they sold my house and flew to Europe with the money." "So you sold my home," I said slowly, "took the money, and left me with nothing." "Oh, don't be dramatic." He pinched my cheek. "You're young. You'll figure it out." He zipped up his designer suitcase and walked past me. "5-star hotels, private tours," he said cheerfully. "First class, of course." At the door, he added, "I'll bring you back a souvenir." And just like that, he was gone. The man who stole everything from me was sipping champagne at 30,000 feet, convinced he'd won. He had no idea what he'd started. I stood in the hollowed-out living room for a long time. The silence was violent. The house felt like it was grieving with me. I didn't scream. I didn't break. I called my mother. No answer. Again. Again. Finally, a text. "We'll talk when I'm back." When she did answer, her voice was calm, detached. "Sweetheart, Richard, and I thought this was for the best." "For who?" I asked. "You're too young for a house like that. He found you a condo, much more suitable." They stole my home and expected gratitude. Then I found the truth. My name had been removed from the deed months earlier. The mortgage refinanced under Mark's name only while I was out of state. Legally, he could sell it. $490,000 gone in 2 weeks. Luxury hotels.
Designer brands.
International transfers. He thought I'd panic. Instead, I prepared. I made 2 calls. First, Daniel Price, my lawyer. Sharp. Relentless. Second, Victor Hale, my uncle, my mother's older brother and Mark's accountant. Mark forgot one thing. The only reason he had the credit to refinance was because of my mother. And there was something in her financial history she never wanted him to uncover. 2 weeks later, Daniel called. "There are 2 refinance documents," he said. "One signed by you, one forged. Mortgage fraud. The sale was illegal." Then Victor called. "Undeclared income. Offshore accounts. Fake deductions," he said cheerfully. "He's finished." When Mark returned from Europe, the door code didn't work. Accounts frozen. IRS notice waiting. Phone calls that drained the color from his face. That night, my mother called crying. "We made a mistake." "Yes," I said. "You did." I hung up. At 11:47 p.m., there was a knock at my door. Mark stood there, unrecognizable. "Please," he whispered. "Just for one night." "This isn't your home," I said. When he shouted, I called the police. That was the last time I saw him outside of headlines. The investigation was swift. Mark tried to flee the country. He was arrested at the airport. I laughed for the first time in weeks. I didn't just win. I reclaimed my life. A court settlement. A new home. Silence. Some nights, I lie awake listening to the quiet, knowing I sleep peacefully because somewhere, Mark Reynolds is staring at a concrete wall, finally understanding the truth. He stole my house, but in the end, I dismantled his entire life, one brick at a time. If this story resonated with you, like and subscribe for more powerful stories of people who turned doubt into dominance. Backhand index pointing down, share your experience in the comments. Have you ever had to choose between family approval and following your dreams?